and I'm here today to talk about a collaborative journal that I will be working on, and also to do my very first book review. I've never done a book review before, not sure exactly how to do a book review, so I'm just going to kind of talk about it. So here we go. So before I actually show you the journal, I want to go ahead and do the book review. And the book that I read was Collaborative Art Journals and Shared Visions in Mixed Media by L.K. Ludwig. It's on Quarry Books, and the ISBN is 13978I59253520-0. And let me hold that up so you can see it better, because there's two ISBNs. I'm not sure why. Maybe for first and second publishing. But that's the ISBN. It's a pretty good book. There's a lot of project photos in here, and it's got some really great interviews. It goes through the interviews with several different artists who have been part of collaborative art journals or collaborative art projects of one kind or another, or swaps. And it has a lot of really great interviews with those artists. So if you enjoy interview type books, and if you like, hearing the words that people have said about a certain project, or reading what they've said about a certain project, then I think you would really enjoy this book, because it's full of interviews. It's got a lot of really great photos, and the photos themselves are inspirational. I mean, I saw something probably on every single page that inspired me to do something, or made me think, ooh, I would like to do something similar to that. Ooh, or, I could take that and turn it this way and make it into something else. So, the photos in here are gorgeous. And it's got tons of photos from all of these different swaps and collaborative projects. When I first got this book, I really thought it was going to be more along the lines of how to run a collaborative art project, how to avoid the pitfalls of collaborative projects. If you've ever done a collaborative project before, there are several things that could potentially go wrong. People dropping out, people not finishing the project, or keeping a project way too long and not sending it on to the next person. These are things that you're going to run into. And so it's good to be careful with who you're swapping with and who you're doing a collaborative project with. And it's just really something that you have to learn through trial and error. But I was really hoping that this book would give tips on how to possibly sidetrack all of that or sidestep all of that, rather, and how to avoid some of those pitfalls. Unfortunately, it did not give any information on that. I also hoped that the book would kind of give a how-to and tips and tricks on, different things that you could do, like some of the, I don't want to say rules, but, some of the requirements for doing these collaborative art projects. I was hoping it would give me insight into that, so that whenever I was participating in a collaborative project, or if I decided to run a collaborative project, I would kind of have a heads up and a little guide to follow. Unfortunately, again, this book did not cover any of that. It does not give you ideas for types of collaborative projects to do. It does not tell you how to run a collaborative project. It doesn't tell you how to avoid the negative aspects of a collaborative project. Basically, this entire book is an interview book with people who have run different collaborative projects. And most of them were journals, but some of them were not journals, but most of these were collaborative art journals. So it's interviews with the people that participated, kind of how the idea came about, or why they chose to work with the people they chose to work with, but not necessarily about the projects themselves. There's no real information about any of these projects. There's no information on how to bind them. You can see ideas on the different pages for ways to bind these journals, but it doesn't teach you any of that. This book is not a teaching book. It's not a technique book. It's not a how-to by any means. It's just basically interviews with people who have participated in them. Like for instance, this one is an interview with Red Scott, and it asks, when did the group exchange begin? Is the group exchange called, whatever the journal was called? How many people participated? I'm trying to read upside down. How many works of art have been generated? So it's asking those kind of questions. It's not asking, how you made a certain piece or what the theme was, how you came up with that. It doesn't give you ideas on any of that. The book itself, I think, is a good book because there's a lot of inspiration in here. So it doesn't tell you, it's not written down ideas for books, or for collaborative projects, but just looking through this book is going to give you ideas. And it doesn't tell you how to bind them or, ideas for your projects, but just there's enough inspiration in here. This is one of the questions here is, tell me about the structure of your exchange. And you would think that would suggest, tell me how your exchange was run or how you made the pieces or whatever, but it's really not. It just says that they had roughly 50 participants and a 3-inch size collage, and that was it. That's all it says about it, and then she goes in to talk to something else. This is actually one of the ones that describes a little bit more about the project, but not a whole lot. So, overall, I was really disappointed with the content of the book because I thought it was going to be something else. However, I was pleased with the amount of inspiration in the book. I was not expecting to be inspired that much. And so, regardless of whether the book gave me a how-to, I think I got enough of an idea from the interviews, to run my own collaborative art journal or collaborative art project. This one was for some dolls, some collaborative dolls. So it's really an inspiration book and an interview book. It's not a how-to. So if you're looking for a how-to, I do not recommend this for that. If you're looking for some great inspiration, and if you like to read interviews by artists, then this is absolutely an enjoyable read. So again, it's called Collaborative Art Journals. There we go. Collaborative Art Journals and Shared Visions in Mixed Media by L.K. Ludwig. If you'd like to know more about it, if you'd like to ask specific questions, feel free to leave me a comment in my student union. There's a discussion thread for questions. And, if you want to know more about this book specifically, if you have a specific question, just go ahead and ask it over there, and I will do my very best to answer it. If you would like to participate in a collaborative project, I will start a thread in my group in Mixed Mediology on the Crafty Linking site. If you would like to participate in a collaborative project, you can jot a little note down in the discussion thread underneath there. If we get enough people who would like to participate, I will come up with an idea and get it started and talk more about collaborative projects over there. Now let's talk about the collaborative project I'm actually working on currently. Those of us who are on the Things Crafty design team are participating in a collaborative journal project. This started out as a basic moleskin. It was just, let me close it up and open the back. It's just a regular moleskin journal, and it just had a blue cover, and I've kind of painted over the cover a little bit. But it's a regular thin little moleskin, and this is what we're using for our collaborative journal. We actually have 2 of these in rotation right now. And what we're doing is the design team members will each be adding a page or 2 in the journal, and we're all going to be working on the cover. So everyone will contribute to the to the outside cover. And then everyone will do a page or 2 within the journals as well. So I have started this journal, and like I said, it was just a regular moleskin, and I added some modeling paste through a stencil to the cover, and then I kind of painted over. I sanded it and gessoed it and added just a little bit of color. So I've laid the base layer down here for the cover. Everything else will be added little bits at a time from the other design team members. And I created a sign-in page for each of us, so we can put our name and what page number we did, and our blog or website address, and then the date that we did those pages. And then this is the first page that I completed in the journal. And there are about 5 layers of stuff here in the background. There's ink and paint and stamping and watercolor and gelatos and all that good stuff. And then I put some glass bead gel through a stencil and painted those with acrylic inks. I drew my girl and colored her in with some Prismacolors and pastels. And then I painted her hair with ink, and then I wrote my little quote here. And then the next page that I did was way back here in the back. And I just realized I did it upside down. I totally did not realize that. Oh my goodness. See, that's the thing about working in these little moleskins. It's easy to get it upside down. Oh, so that's going to be interesting. So this page is done with four mediums, 4 products. Oh, I can't even talk. I did the background, all of this red and yellow and cream and all of that. That's all done. And this border here as well is all done with Prismacolor pencils. And then I dripped some ink down the page, and I closed my book and rubbed it, which gave me that great splatter looking effect. I stamped on my quote. It says "Fly through the storm." And then I also wrote on here with a white jelly roll. The little butterfly is actually a piece of chipboard. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little piece of chipboard that I painted with acrylic ink and then glued it on. So that's just acrylic ink on chipboard. And I got a really great marbling effect, which I may do a little mini artcation on how to do these. So that's the 2 pages that I've done. I still need to go through and figure out, I don't even know how to number this page because we're going to be gluing pages together. For example, this one is just a single page, but the page I did up here, because I was adding so much to it, I glued 3 pages together. So it's going to be kind of hard to put the page number for this one. So anyway, that's the collaborative art journal that I've gotten started. We have a second one that's also going around right now. I'm not sure who has that one in their possession, but throughout the year we'll be passing these journals around, and each of us doing work in the journal, and then these will be kept for when we do art retreats that will be coming to fruition, hopefully this coming year, hopefully within 2013, maybe about 18 months. We're not quite sure how that all is going to work out yet. But we do have some art retreats that we are working on in the background, just some rough estimate planning and things like that right now. So these journals will be used for those art retreats, or when we do group classes and where people can actually come in and flip through and see what the design team has done and see it face to face, not just photos, not just videos, but actually hold the journal, flip through it, touch it, pet it, all that good stuff. So I hope you keep up with us and this collaborative art journal. Throughout the year, we'll be posting photos of the pages that we've done and adding them to the Crafty Link site and the Things Crafty blog. So if you would like to participate again in a collaborative project, make sure you go to the Mixed Mediology group on the Crafty Link site and find the discussion thread that says collaborative project, and leave me a comment down there, a suggestion for what you might like to collaborate on, or ideas, things like that. And I'll see about possibly getting a collaborative project going. I hope you enjoyed my review. I know that I didn't really say a whole lot about the book because there's not really a whole lot to say. Really, it's just interviews. So it's not like I could talk about the great techniques that it taught me or the great insight that I got. It's not that kind of book. But I hope it was helpful. And like I said, if you have specific questions about this book, just leave me a comment and I will do my best to answer it. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!